So today I'm going to be doing the Nineveh box from HackTheBox, and it's rated as medium. All I have done so far is I've done an nmap scan. The IP of this box is 10.10.10.43, and we have two available ports to us, port 80 and 443. We do have some additional information in terms of the certificate, and we have a common name of nineveh.htb, which we can put in our host file. Which I will do right now. nano/etc hosts, and it's 10.10.10.43 with that, and we will browse directly to those ports. And we have, and it works. We get a security certificate warning, and we're just presented with this picture here. If we have a look at the certificate itself, we have some information here, such as the common name and an email address with a potential username there. So I will copy this and I will put it into a leaf pad here. I think that's all we can do from there. We can run a couple of Go Busters on here. dir-u eh.hackthebox. Word list is going to be USR share word list directory buster medium. We don't need to search for any file extensions, I think, and we will save this as http://gobuster.txt. Give it a threads of 99. I will copy this. Okay, let that run. We'll paste that into here. Change that to HTTPS. And because it's using HTTPS, we need to add the -k flag as well. May not like all those threads. Okay, with both of those running, we have a folder called DB for HTTPS and a folder called department. Let's go here first. And we're presented with a login form. So we don't know what to do there yet. We saw the folder DB, and we are presented with PHP Lite Admin version 1.9. Okay, so that is asking us for a password. So we could try admin password. It's all the different common passwords really. And password 123 actually gets us in. Let's have a look at search exploit and see if we can find anything for this. PHP Lite Admin. And we have a remote code injection. Basically, this is telling us we can create a database, and we could call it hack.php, and then we can insert some PHP code directly into that then. which is easy enough to do. We can use, let's create a new one called hack.php. We'll call the database test, and we have one field, and then we'll have some code then that we can put into here. Yeah, we'll select the type as text. Okay, so if I go to my notes, I have a file here called php.text. Okay, so this gives me some PHP code that I can possibly try. For example, we can have a look at this, see if we get the contents of the password file. We'll try that one. Yeah, alright then. Yeah, we'll try this one first. And it is saved there, but we can't execute it. This is the problem. So if we return back to this page here, we have a potential username of admin, but we don't know the password. And we could try to brute force this here. To do that, we can use Hydra. Hydra. I always forget the syntax for this. So if we put in admin and then test in 1, 2, 3, let's send this over to burp, which isn't open. Okay, so these are our fields. Okay, so go back to Hydra dash L for admin, dash P for capital P for password file, ROCU, and then we need the URL or just the IP address, which is 10.10.10.43. This is going to be a HTTP dash post dash form, and now we need to put the other bits in here. We'll take this, set the password to the variable. We could change that user, and now we need the error message it gives us. Let's turn that off. Admin testing and invalid password. Do a capital V for verbose. And that should be all we need. Let's try it. Okay. So we can let that run for a little bit. That GoBuster's finished on HTTP, and it's also finished on HTTPS, and we have another folder here called Secure Notes. And we are presented with this page here. We view the image, we can download it, with wget, and I always forget the flag for the HTTPS stuff. No check certificate. We could do strings on this image, and we're presented with what looks like a RSA private key. But if we notice that SSH wasn't open, we do a nano ID and go RSA and save that for later. That might be handy. And we have a user of Amros. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay. So where were we? And it's found a match in username and password here. And we also have the password of password 123. Okay, so we should be able to log in now. And we do. We don't get a lot here. So some potential local file inclusion, LFI vulnerability here. We could just try etc or /etc password. No note selected. The actual problem is that the way that this is configured, it needs to have the notes 9var file name into the actual file that we're looking for. So for example, if I do PHP here, it says no such file or directory in blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's not a problem. Anything else that we put in here, we will just get a no note selected. So it needs to have this particular file name here, which isn't a problem. We go back to PHP. We go back to our hack.php. We'll rename this, and we'll rename this as this particular file. Let's refresh that. And that didn't work for some. Oh yeah. So now we would go to the full directory here, and we have access to the well, we could display the password file, and there's our user there. So we should be able to get a reverse shell now, just simply by editing this field here. If I go back to my notes, do a more PHP, that we should be able to get something like this to work. Let's see. So I am 14.14.14 nc-lvp123. Save, refresh. We don't get a shell. We can try the netcat one, or we can try the PHP one. Let's try the PHP one. 10, 10, 14, 14. Save changes, return, refresh, and that also didn't work. I think I have a syntax problem somewhere. PHP, that's there, and so let's try that one more time. Okay, let's try the netcat one instead. 1, 2, 3. That looks okay. Okay, so yeah, I might have screwed up the PHP one, but the netcat one, reverse shell, seems to have worked. So we're on the box. We have Python 3 installed, so let's upgrade our shell. STTY raw dash echo FG. Okay, and we have upgraded our shell. We see Amros there. We can try to go into that directory. We see the user flag, but we can't read it. Now, there's two methods to upgrade in this. We can go via the port knocking method. So, like for example, we see that port 22 is open. Well, it's open inside the box, but it's not available to us to the outside. So port knocking is when you try to connect to various ports, which in turn will open this port to the outside. That is one way, or we could just try to get privileges from where we are. Let's see how we get on. So to start with, we can just go into the temp directory. Let us get some scripts on here. We'll use that one. Sudo python /m simple http server port 80. And we are 10.10.14.14 / that. Let's change let's run it. If you scroll through all the results, we'll see if we can find anything interesting. There's a reference there to knock. Okay, one way that we can, or one program that I like to run where nothing is apparent is the PSPY program. Let's get this on the box. So it looks like this looks like all the stuff that we've been doing. We see that root is running this program here, and they're running this script. So from their own root directory. So it's a vol scan. So this script will be, well, my guess will be running this program here. Okay. We see that we have a report folder which is created by our user. We can go into here. And we can see that we have reports being created every minute. Okay, so if we was to go to, let's have a look at this program here, check rootkit. Let's have a look in search exploit for that. We have one called local privilege escalation, which is exactly what we want. And this tells us what we can do here. So basically, put an executable file named update with non-root owner in the TMP folder. Okay, and then run this as root. So every minute we know that this program is being run here. If we put an executable called update into the TMP folder, we may be able to get root. So let's try that. Let's go to there. We will need to create a script called update. We will insert and then do hash that / bin / bash, and let's try the PHP reverse shell again, because I had that working last time, but for whatever reason it's not working now. So let's try it here. We got 10, 10, 14, 14. We'll use the port 9999. Oh. I think that's correct. Update. Yeah, that looks okay. Let us create a listener. And we will need to change this to be executable. And then let's just give that a minute. In the meantime, let's have a look at that port knocking stuff here. I do have some notes on this actually. Back up. Because port knocking. And yeah, this is actually from this particular box I took these notes from. Okay, so we can have a look at this particular config file here. Let's do that. And we have root here, and there's the root flag. It's 33 characters. We can have a look at this script real quick actually. And yeah, it's running this program and it's sending the report to there, and it's changing the ownership, yeah, to our user. Okay, so that is one way to get root. The other way is to log in as the user. So let us where's my, it was in cd/etc ls that, and we should have one that begins with knock. So the sequence is that port, then that port, then that port, and then that should give us, that should open the SSH port. We have a look at my notes. I believe I would have, yeah. Okay, so let us take that. Don't need to do anything else, I think. So X would be these particular ports here. We're doing an nmap scan. We're not pinging it. Host timeout is that maximum retries is 0. Port will be in our loop. That's our IP, and then we're done. Unrecognized option, host timeout. Okay, we'll get rid of host timeout then. And let's do an nmap -p22 on 10.10.10.43, and that is now open. So we should be able to SSH-I RSA, no, ID RSA, our user at was it 10.10.10.43. Did I not change the okay, and we are in. And getting to root is exactly the same way. You would discover that vulnerability program is being run, and then you would just exploit it exactly the same way as mentioned in the search exploit file that we looked at before. I think that is it. Thank you for watching.